This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, welcome to the webinar. Jasmine and I am Kip or Shalini. We will share you the visa guidance and also Thailand Pass application so that you can proceed the visa application and also Thailand Pass application. So let's see what you will need to do, the step and the details of the process. First of all, today we will go through the following topics about booking your flight, your quarantine, hotel, also the insurance that you need to purchase. This is the first step that you need to do. And then you can apply the visa and apply the Thailand Pass. And then we have some FAQ that is a common question of the people asking us. So we give you the guideline when you have some question about this. And also, again, for the to-do list, to book your flight, to purchase your insurance and also your quarantine hotel, and then apply your visa and apply your Thailand Pass. And now to enter Thailand, we don't require you to have COVID-19 test as a RT-PCR test 72 hours before flying. But sometimes maybe your airline will need that. So you need to check with the airline when you booking. The rundown, we recommend you to arrive in Bangkok no later than 5:30 p.m. on April the 30th. And you will have the one night quarantine at the hotel, and then you will meet us on the 1st of May, which is Sunday night. So the step to proceed now is to book your flight, your insurance and quarantine, and then you can apply the visa and Thailand Pass. So as the time to arrive in Thailand, which is better, is 5:30 p.m. on April on the 30th. And again, that you need to check with your airline for the RT-PCR test 72 hours before flying time, as they might require that, but it's not compulsory from Thailand as of at the moment. And also, please prepare the COVID-19 vaccine as a QR code, as the airline might require that from you as well. And if you want to come earlier to Thailand, we recommend to not come earlier than the April of 23rd, because we need to spare the time for your visa changing process, especially the South African people who have less time than another nationalities. And also when you book the flight, please book with the agent that you trust, or book direct with the airline, so that if you need to change or amend, it's not charged you as a fee. Okay, next about the quarantine hotel that we will pick you up and meeting with you is at Forum Park Hotel. It's located in Sathorn. The first night that you arrive is on the 30th of April, which is the quarantine night from you. You will be picked up from the airport by the hotel, and also they will drop you at the hospital that they coordination with. And then after the RT-PCR test from the hospital, you will drop and stay at the hotel until you receive your test result. However, the first night that quarantine, you don't have to stay at Forum Park. It is depend on you if you like, or if you prefer another hotel is fine. But the second night that we want you to stay as a normal rate, you can stay at Forum Park, which you will meet us at in the evening for the meeting. So if you want to stay at Forum Park for 2 nights, or the first night at the other, and then the next night at Forum Park is fine. Or if you don't want those 2 nights at Forum Park, it's fine, but you must join the meeting in the evening on the 1st of May. Okay, and for the quarantine hotel, you need to book the hotel which have the Cha Plus, Cha Extra Plus or AQ hotel for 1 night, which is a must on Thailand Pass application. And then as the package of test and go include day 1 for the first time RT-PCR test and the airport transfer, and they will include your 3 meals as you will be quarantined in your room the whole day until you get the result. And then once you get the result, you can, and it's negative, you can go out. And then day 5, you will need to submit the positive, the ATK test as a negative result on to upload on Mor Chana application. And also for the booking of test and go, you have to book, and we recommend you to book directly with the hotel, as the hotel will be part of the approval of the Thailand Pass as well. So please book with the hotel directly. That will make the Thailand Pass approval soon and faster. Okay. We already talked about the flight to book, also the quarantine hotel to book. And another thing is the insurance purchasing, which is have to cover your entire length of stay in Thailand. To the entire length of stay, it means the entire length of the stay that you commit to be in Thailand, like 1 semester, 1 year, something like that. And the coverage that need to cover is $20,000 and specify COVID-19 treatment in that insurance as well. So you need to submit this document to us, the flight detail, the quarantine hotel, the insurance documents, the whole insurance document, not just the receipt. Okay, once you have all these things, the flight detail, the quarantine hotel booking, and then the insurance, you can proceed. The next step is the visa application, which Jasmine will explain how is it going.
Okay, so there are 4 types of visas that you might be selected to come over on. The first one is the visa exemption. This one will be for mostly South Africans. The reason why is that we used to be able to have everybody apply for a longer stay visa. So we are aware that people from the US, Australia, the UK, Canada, you are all welcome to come over on a visa exemption, which means that you don't need to pay any fees and you can just come straight on in. But we prefer everybody to come in on the longest length of visa that they can. So most people will come in on the 60-day tourist visa. Just doesn't work for South Africans because the government usually stamps something in South African passport saying that they cannot change a 60-day tourist visa to any other visa without returning back to South Africa. We definitely need you to change your visa so you can work in Thailand on a working visa. So the visa exemption is the free visa, but only South African people will most likely come in on that one, unless they have been told by us otherwise to come in on a non-B. And then the next one is a tourist visa. So this is for everybody else who has not been told that they will either come in on the visa exemption, the non-B or the non-O. So if I can just see those ones come up, so I can talk about them all together. And the non-O, great. So these are the 4 visa types. The non-B visa is the working visa straight off the bat. So this is the one where the school organizes information for you. So you will be told whether you are joining this visa in advance. So if you have not been told you're coming in on a non-B visa, you are definitely coming in on a tourist visa, or if you're South African, the visa exemption. And then non-O is a short stay visa. So if you are of the camp counselor group, you will most likely be coming in on this visa. So as you can see, there is reasons behind why people have a different visa. that they will need to come in on. And we'll explain that a little bit more in the next slides. So South Africa, once again, you will most likely come in on the visa exemption. That means you do not apply for a visa at all, unless you are told that you're coming in on the non-B visa. For this one, you still need to apply for your Thailand pass. So after you have, like Gib mentioned, your flights, your hotel quarantine, and your insurance, these are the first steps. Then you can just straight on apply for your Thailand pass. So your visa will be stamped in when you arrive in Thailand. 60-day tourist visa. So this is most likely for the Americans, people from the UK and Ireland, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. So unless you are told specifically whether you're coming on a non-B visa from your school, which the placement team will have definitely told you in advance, you will be coming in on the 60-day tourist visa. You must have your passport validity for at least 6 months. I would say at least a year to be even better. And Thailand does suggest to have at least 1 full blank page, but we advise having at least 3 blank pages left in your passport as well. E-visas are available to the US, the UK, and Canada. So this means that your application will be done entirely online. Unfortunately, it's not available to people in Australia and New Zealand yet. So you will have to do the manual application. And please have at least 15 days before you intend to travel to apply for your e-visa, or to send it in the post as well. And then all tourist visas, including the visa exemption for South Africans and the tourist visa in general, they require an exit flight from Thailand. So this will be as part of the application. It doesn't mean that it wants to see your flight home in 6 months or a year time. It has to be a flight exiting Thailand within the 60-day period or the 30-day visa period that your visa is valid for. So this is a burner flight, I like to call it. It's legally required by Thai law. So what people usually do is they book a flight to a neighboring country, the cheapest one that they can find. So this is a place where we would suggest to look for a cheap one on Skyscanner. Please don't book your normal flight, like Gib said, to Thailand on Skyscanner. All sorts of problems if you ever need to change it. But your exit flight from Thailand, that's totally fine, because you won't be taking it on most occasions. It's just a legal requirement to come in on this visa. You have to show that you have intentions to leave, even though it's perfectly legal to change this visa to a working visa. But once again, please do look on Skyscanner, find the cheapest flight you can find to a neighboring country and book that one. The frustrating part is, so Thai immigration staff legally are meant to ask you for this flight when you enter Thailand. And if you don't have it, they make you book one on the spot, which can be really expensive. This is another reason why we suggest you get this, not just for your application, but for that situation. But sometimes they don't ask. So just know that if they don't ask, it's really annoying that you booked it, but you did adhere to the legal requirement of coming in on a tourist visa, and you will need this for your Thailand pass and your visa application, especially the online forum as well. Non-B and non-O visas. So non-B visas, they're processed through your school, like I mentioned. So the school makes a whole bunch of documents for you in advance. So we will have sent out this email for you saying you can book your arrival to Thailand, which means your flights, your quarantine, hotel, and your insurance, but just hold off on the visa for now until they give you this paperwork. And then you apply just as normal, either through the e-visa portal if you are from the US, UK, or Canada, or through the Mail Australia, New Zealand, or South Africa if you are able to do a non-B as well. And then you get your visa back in that manner. So this is the direction other people will take on a tourist visa whilst they're in Thailand. So everybody will end up, if they're teaching long-term with the non-B, you'll either get it before you come over or after you come over, depending on what your school can do if you have been selected to have a placement in advance. And then non-O visa people, this is the people that can only stay a short amount of time. So you will be coming in on a volunteer visa. This one only lasts for 3 months, and there is no extension available in country. So don't feel like you have a disadvantage no matter what visa you come in on. Every single visa expires. The visa exemption, the tourist visa and the non-B visa can be extended, but the non-O cannot. So you'll have to leave the country and come back in if you wanted to extend your stay, but we've well researched that you are here for a short period of time doing the Camp Counselor program, for example. So if you are asked to apply for this visa, it is for that reason, short period of stay. Okay, so people who are able to apply for the e-visa, everybody will go to this website here and apply that way and follow the steps as listed below. You will need to insert a passport photo of yourself into the e-visa system. So even if you took a nice clear photo of a physical passport photo, you will need passport photos to change your visa while you're here as well. If you're on a tourist visa, my advice to you is please take your passport photo not wearing a turtleneck. If you need to change your visa in country, they can use these photos, but they Photoshop you into a suit. So they need to be able to see your neck. So you'll need this for the application for your visa anyway, and a scan of your passport. And then your supporting documents. So this is a declaration form that you will find on the e-visa portal. It is being potentially phased out, so you may not need it. We'll keep you updated with any changes. And then your flights into Thailand, you'll need to upload this, and your exit flight as well. So remember, this exit flight needs to be shown within your visa validity that you have to begin with. So it won't be when you're leaving in 6 months or a year time. It will be that burner flight that you just show that you have intentions to leave Thailand. And we do suggest neighboring countries once again. Your travel information. So this is the Forum Park that we are suggesting. It is a great hotel, great location. It's got a pool. It's reasonably priced, right in the heart of the city. But once again, if you did want to stay anywhere else, please make sure that you're there for that meeting on May 1st before we head off down to Hue Hin on May 2nd. And this is the address as well of the hotel here. So proof of the quarantine as well. So please make sure you include the test package that you have acquired for your application. It also wants to see that you have enough money to support yourself while you're traveling in Thailand. So this is at least $700 equivalent. So you can take screenshots of your bank statement, your online banking, but you need to upload that there. That's the reason. They just don't want somebody who has no money coming over and getting stuck in Thailand and causing a problem. So that's the reason why they asked for that one. And then confirmation of legal residence in a country in which you are applying for the visa. So in this case, you would just upload any legal document that has your address on it. So it would be your passport ID page if your address is listed on it, your driver's license if your address is listed on it, maybe a bank statement or something from the government that has your name and address on it. Also, they ask you a lot of questions regarding your jurisdiction of where you live, particularly in the US. So we've got the US map here, because even though you're applying in the e-visa system online, it needs to be sent to one of the 4 Thai embassies in the US. So on the West Coast, you can see that all gets sent to the LA office. In the North, you've got Chicago. On the Northeast, you've got New York. And then the Southeastern side, you've got Washington, D.C. Thai embassy. So this is why they do ask that question quite often. They just need to match your address up to which state correlates with which Thai embassy in the US. Then for Canada, you also have 2, so that's why they might ask you. And then UK and Ireland, they both get sent to London. Then you pay your visa fee online. And the e-visa system should issue your visa up to 15 business days later. If you happen to make a mistake, don't worry, you won't just be rejected and that's it. They will usually send you an email saying what you missed or what's unclear, and then you can amend it that way. Please do try to make it perfect as you can before you send it off. Trying to contact an embassy is almost impossible if there is a problem with your visa, and you just often have to wait. So please try and make sure everything's okay before you send it off. And if you have any questions, we are having that question and answer webinar on the 4th of April, and myself and Gib are always available if you need to contact us. So 15 days, it should be approved. And then please do print this off. You will need to bring all of your original documents and all of these printed arrival documents to Thailand with you, and the immigration needs to see this when you stamp in. Australia and New Zealand, the manual way. So unfortunately, we can't apply on the e-visa system yet. I'm sure it's coming, but we do have to do it by post. So you can either head into your embassy, which is closest to you. So you have Sydney and Canberra in Australia and Wellington in New Zealand, or you can send this by Australia or New Zealand Post, your passport with a passport photo, proof of your insurance, your flights to Thailand, your hotel quarantine, and proof of your banking as well. Sometimes they ask you to fill out a form online, and the form is sent online, but you still need to send your passport physically in the mail or go to the embassy yourself. And then you get the physical sticker in your passport too. They don't print off a form for you to use the QR code yet. Proof of residence in Australia, they will also ask you for this, and then you pay your fees in Australia or New Zealand. You can pay this at the post office, or you can pay it through the consulate as well. So you have a few options. And this is the embassies here. And it's the same, takes 15 days to apply to approve and get back to you. Australia and New Zealand Post are usually really great with getting your passport back to you, so don't worry. You might know it's a little bit scary sending your passport in the mail. Frequently asked questions. Now this is a really, really important part of the webinar. The visa application asks some really strange questions and repetitive questions where they're kind of asking for the same document in different wording. So firstly, yes, sometimes they want you to take a selfie with your passport, holding it up like a nice selfie with your passport. They also do ask for you to upload every page in your passport to prove where you've been for the last year. That question that's asking places you've traveled, or if you've been living in the same place for the last year. Even if your passport's blank, please just upload every page and they can't dispute it. The invitation letter. So everybody will be coming over either on a working visa or a tourist visa or a volunteer visa. So you don't technically have a friend inviting you to a wedding or something like that. So you don't need this invitation letter. Please do put your hotel booking here. So this would be the first hotel that you book, your quarantine hotel, hopefully the Forum Park Hotel. So please put that one here. Just on the note of the Forum Park Hotel as well, they do have plenty of rooms left at the moment, but there is a possibility that they might sell out at some stage. So please do get on to booking that one as soon as you can. Then the address based on jurisdiction, once again, they ask this multiple times of showing a statement that shows where you live. It's just so they can correlate your visa to that specific Thai embassy once again. So please just upload that legal document that shows your name and address on it. So if your passport in your country has your name and address on it, it can be that. I know some countries don't have those details on the passport. Driver's license, if it shows on your driver's license, you can upload that. Bank statements, any kind of government form. So please upload this in this section. UK people. So this is a new question and it's quite strange. They have been asking people for a personal statement from their school, employer, or pension. So we will be attaching a self-declaration personal statement form for you to attach here. It seems so invalid because you're coming over as a tourist. You're not a pensioner wanting to live out the rest of your days in Thailand. But you do need to fill out this personal statement just saying that your intentions is to travel and be a tourist in Thailand. And please remember that if you do come over on a tourist visa, you are a tourist until you can change that visa. So please don't mention working or schools or anything like that, as it can cause confusion and people might get rejected and things like that. So you're a tourist until we change your visa, which is perfectly legal, and then you're on a working visa and everything is fine. Just the questions at the bottom as well that we get quite often. Why do they need to see your bank statement of 700 US dollars equivalent? Just so they know that you have enough money to support yourself in Thailand. I know it's a little bit strange, particularly to Americans, that they want to know that kind of stuff, but it's required by law, so please do attach that. And why do they need that exit flight? To show that your intention on a tourist visa is to leave the country. A lot of countries ask of this if you come in on a tourist visa, just to prove your intentions once again. So please do select that cheapest burner flight you can find, and attach that where you can. As it's a legal requirement, often they do ask for it, and it can be more expensive last minute if you do have to book it on the spot, or they could turn you away. So it is important.
Okay, so you already complete those two steps, the booking for the flight, the hotel quarantine, and insurance purchasing, and then you already knows the detail of the visa application. Then after you finish that, please apply the Thailand Pass. So Thailand Pass, you can go to apply on the following link that appear here. And as the process to approve, it need to be 3 or 7 days until 7 days in advance. But if someone like travel urgent, you can email to this email as well. And we recommend you to use the Gmail account to apply Thailand Pass instead of other email account. And when you go to the website of Thailand Pass, you will see the homepage that they will ask you as a non-Thai or Thai resident. Then you click the non-Thai, and then it's come up with the air travel or land travel. And then you click air travel. So you will see the plan of the Thailand Pass, which is we suggest strongly to choose Test and Go, like the red frame on that. And then you need to show the document as following: the passport, the Thai visa if required, and also the vaccine from COVID-19 certificate, and the insurance that you already purchased with cover 20,000 US dollar, and then the quarantine hotel that you book under Test and Go package with that hotel, which means it includes the RT-PCR test and airport transfer for 1 night. And then because in the past they require 22 hours RT-PCR test before flying, but now it's not compulsory. So please recheck with the airline that you book with. And also the people who have the positive of the RT-PCR when you test COVID-19, you can submit the certificate that you already recovery this disease. And once it's approved, as when you submit all the documents, it will go to the hotel that you book, the quarantine hotel with, which is they are pre-screened and they are part of the Thailand Pass approval as well. And once it's approved, it will come with the QR code like on the picture here on the slide. So if you feel like the Thailand Pass approval is quite delayed, so please contact the hotel that you book the quarantine night with, as maybe they will ask you for more document, or if you book it with the third party, it will be a bit delayed to approve on that. And then the next step is when you are at the airport to fly to Thailand, you have to present the Thailand Pass QR code, also the insurance and sometimes maybe some airline require the RT-PCR test 72 hours before flying, and also the visa to Thailand that you need to present. And once you arrive Thailand, when you are in the hotel, you please submit the TM6, like the photo here. The TM6, you will get it once you pass the immigration. They will stamp on it, but sometimes they might not, but you have to keep this small paper with you all the time. If you lost it, you have to go to report this to the police station, and then they will give you another report, and then it's going to be used as your TM6 instead. So to be safe and save the time and the process, please keep the TM6 with you, and then you send the photo of TM6 and also the visa stamp that the immigration give it to you and share to us.
Okay, so I know it sounds like it's a lengthy process, but it is quite simple. The Thailand pass is different to the visa, just so you know. It is more required since COVID to make sure that you're medically covered to enter Thailand. The visa is more like financially covered to enter Thailand. So they are two different things. And myself and Gib will be here to support you through your entire application. We are aware that you're getting this in midweek, and your application is due this week between the 28th and the 1st, so it only gives you a couple of days. It's fine if you don't show us that you've applied until Monday, but we just want to give you as much time as possible to be able to get your visa and Thailand pass back. So they do need that processing time. If you do something wrong in the application, it does take a little longer. So this gives you plenty of time. Please don't leave it to the last minute to apply for these. So remember, you need to do your flights, insurance, and quarantine first, and then you can apply for your visa and Thailand pass. Your visa and Thailand pass needs the details of your flight, quarantine, and insurance to be able to apply. So that's why it's in that order. And then on the 4th of April, we'll be having a question and answer. If you have any concerns or questions and you'd like to join live, because other people sharing their thoughts, questions, and concerns live is always really helpful. But in the meantime, if you do have any worries at all, please contact myself and Gib, and we're able to help you out anytime that you need. But thank you for joining us today. I hope that this webinar helps you out in your application. And if you do have any questions of anything that we mentioned, once again, please let us know anytime. Thank you so much. Khop kun ka.
Bye bye.
Bye.